Dazzlers, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're fabulous on this magical sunny day. It's so nice that spring is on its way, due to I do love spring and the summer weather a lot more than winter time, because I feel like you can go out and about and be one with nature. So anyway, moving on. This video is going to be about tarot reading from 2 years ago, so 2018. So I'm going to look back on a tarot reading that Nincompoop gave me, my sister, and see what her predictions were like, if they were spot on or certain bits were very close to what happened, or not at all, or it still might be going to be happening. You never know. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, do so now and join my lovely Razzle Dazzle family, and click the little bell to be notified of all my big jazz hand videos I do. And let's get into this mystical prediction video right now. As well, I thought it'd be cool to give you a raw update and let you know that I've had quite a lot of life-changing things happen, and I am now moving back to Brighton and starting my new chapter of my life. And I thought it'd be cool to look back on this video and see if the predictions were spot on, and just see what was said basically. And I thought it would be a bit of fun just to have a look.
Issues and problems and questions and worries and all that jazz.
And all that jazz. Oh dear. If you didn't know, Ellie does do tarot reading online, and go and check it out. I will put her link. I think she's on Fiverr, that you can go on and get a tarot card reading. She's amazing.
With your left hand, you cut once. Okay. Move it along, and then cut twice. Yeah. See? Like a pro. Ta-da! You did it! Magic. Okay. Number 1.
Okay.
Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. I got that wrong then.
And if I remember rightly, when she did this video, she was more or less kind of starting out a bit with a tarot card reading as well. So she's a lot better now.
First card
is exactly what cards are.
You as a core, like, because in the middle it's basically the person like surrounding the situation. Oh,
I've got lots of cups for that.
That's really cool. because like I know you, so obviously I can not change.
Does
but
this mean different options?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. It just means someone who's assessing all their options.
Okay. So at this stage, I was changing my life again. I literally was or did leave my job at the time. Well, I was there for quite a while.
It's quite like a creative and emotional suit. So you're quite invested emotionally in your choice. That's basically it in a nutshell.
That's the middle one. And I was quite scared of what my future was going to be.
Tell more stuff when we've seen it all together.
Okay, so I put it down. So, I've got more or less the same nail varnish. How funny.
Are you like very
pondering about everything?
Yeah. And also this is like up in the air as well. Like he's literally just thrown it out there and he's like, So this that comes over you is what encourages you or hinders you. So it can work for you or against you, depending on if it's negative or not. I've never seen that. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of wands. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had that come up before.
Do you need to look up what it means?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I got it all up here.
Okay.
8 of wands. Oh,
we're using a certain site for if you don't know.
Most people use books, but it's so much easier. Like otherwise, I have to flick through the bloody. So this is quick action, conclusion, and news. Making your move, striking while the iron is hot, declaring yourself openly, putting plans into action. So this is working for you. I don't think this is like a negative card.
Bit windy.
Finally, finding a successful resolution, completing unfinished business, finding the missing puzzle piece. In readings, the Eight of Wands is often a sign that now is the time to declare yourself. All the elements are ready and will work for you as long as you don't hesitate. The iron is hot, so strike. If events are in motion, they will proceed rapidly. You may feel caught up in a whirlwind, but soon the dust will settle and you see your plans have. It stands for the arrival of news or information. motivation.
2 years down the line,
See or hear something.
my plans are still chugging along, so I wouldn't say they're completely worked out.
So yeah, the 8 of Wands on this card not only symbolise putting events into motion, but also bringing them to a close. They appear to be ending their fight by coming down to earth. It may be time to conclude whatever you've been doing. Celebrate the past, but prepare to move on to something else.
Well, I have achieved a lot. I have done a lot of different.
Have you told them?
I recently left my job. I'm going to be doing another video on it, so I'll put that there so you can watch that one too.
She's got changes coming, guys.
Got a lot of changes, moving out, left my job, moving the area.
Which is why we're doing this, because it's going to be like so many things happening. Right, so let's do your.
Not as many as I hoped. I thought things were going to go a lot faster, but I'm not very good at waiting, I must say.
Like your roots and what.
But that is probably the Capricorn in me.
And sometimes you won't even know.
What the hell's
I
that?
haven't had this card either.
Angel.
Sometimes if you see a card here, you might think that's not you, but that's because it's like what goes on subconsciously.
Dipping my toe into the water.
So I'll have to look this card up because I don't. Unless she's got wings, okay. It's you. Temperance. So this card is not on it. No, I'm joking. No, it stands for balance, health, combination, showing moderation, looking for the golden mean. Healing, enjoying well-being, recognizing all sides, achieving harmony, joining with others, finding the right mix. In a world full of enticing indulges, it's often necessary to find the middle ground. Sensible, maybe, but also a bit boring. The energy of temperaments may seem unexciting on the surface, but it is the calm of a hurricane's eye. All around are whirling winds, but in the centre is a still point that brings everything into balance. So she represents moderation, especially when extreme cards are present. So that makes sense. If there's like, so because this is your roots, this is sort of in a way what you
Subconsciously want.
Yeah, what you think about, but not necessarily in the front of your brain.
Yeah.
So if like the rest of these cards are like crazy, makes sense because she just wants like, like she's balancing out all this energy. One on top is your conscious. So it's what you think about at night, what you wake up in the morning and think about, and it's what crowns you. So it's sort of like your main focus. You're getting really weird cards. As in ones I don't really know a lot about. Chariot, right?
I'm going along with my chariot.
They're quite similar in a way to this one. So it's good if your conscious is similar to your subconscious, because otherwise you're kind of like kidding yourself. Like if my subconscious was negative, but I put out like a really happy energy, then I'm not being. So this is achieving victory, reaching your goal, winning, being successful, dominating, coming out on top, beating the competition. Well, that makes sense.
Maybe not quite true.
Goal, rising above temptation, focusing your intent.
Nice staring at him.
So represents the positive aspects of the ego. A healthy ego is one that is strong and self-assured. It knows what it wants and how to get it. We can get annoyed at someone whose ego is too healthy, but we often turn to that person to lead us through difficult moments.
That's true.
We know he or she won't be too wishy-washy.
Like it is.
This card often appears when hard control is or could be in evidence.
Even though people do come to me a lot for advice and stuff, and sometimes I forget to look after myself and love myself in a way.
Chariot can mean self-control or control of the environment. This card represents victory. So this will be a card that will be good to get in your future, but this is more just like your frame of mind, and you're like, I'm gonna go get my goals stuff. This is where it gets exciting, right? This is your recent past.
Okay.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Lorna got that one. How many ones is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks like a journey, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's the train goes past in the background.
Getting a pat on the back, receiving a praise, compliment, earning applause. That's you leaving work.
Yeah.
I'm off, guys. Bye. having
Oh,
a
she does
higher
the tune
opinion of
from
yourself,
the
heading,
Wizard of
holding
Oz,
your head
Wicked
high,
Witch.
strutting
You
your
know,
stuff.
Oh yeah.
strutting my stuff.
Feeling
Oh my word, I'm saying
self-important.
the same things as I say in the video.
Self-confidence. That's better. I can actually see the screen now. There's also, I won't get into it at the moment, but there's cards that can like change the meaning if you get the same thing. But it doesn't look like you have any of them.
Oh. Had a bit of technical difficulties. My phone ran out of space.
So
We've done this one.
we've heard everything. Excuse me. So yeah, this seems pretty positive so far. Nothing seems too alarming. But now we get to the more like help side. This will help you with this stuff. Next one is your near future, not your far one. So like 6 months time. That looks quite sad, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I stand on one leg.
She's got the Hanged Man.
Oh, it's that way round.
No, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was standing on one leg. It's nice. A lot of stuff going on. For me.
I mean, it makes sense. This, even though it's called the Hanged Man, you think of like death or
Glowing
something.
head.
But
It means hanged by his foot, not by his
yeah,
head.
exactly. Like hanging, you think, but it means like letting go and
Letting all your stuff come out of your body.
yeah, well, sacrificing, putting self-interest aside, going one step back to go 2 steps forward, taking time to just be, giving up urgency, seeing from a new angle, changing your mind, overturning old priorities, and giving up control. I don't know if there's any.
Wow, that didn't really happen, did it? I quite like to be in control of stuff.
The Hanged Man, the Chariot, can just emphasize the like word self-assured. So like you're very confident in what you're doing right now.
I don't know what that is. But...
well, as in like making a change. I think. So the Hanged Man is one of the most mysterious cards in the tarot deck.
That would be.
It is simple but complex. It attracts but also disturbs. It contradicts itself in countless ways. The Hanged Man is unsettling because it symbolises the action of paradox in our lives. A paradox is something that appears contradictory yet is true. The Hanged Man presents to us certain truths, but they are hidden in their opposites. The main lesson of the Hanged Man is that we control by letting go. We win by surrendering. The figure on the card has made an ultimate surrender to die on the cross of his own travels, yet he shines with the glory of divine understanding. See, that's why he's got a glowy head. He sacrificed himself, but he emerges the victor. He tells us that we can move forward by standing still. By suspending time, we have all the time in the world. So he reminds us the best approach to a problem is not always the most obvious. When we most want to force our will on someone, that is when we should release. When we most want to have our own way, that is when we should sacrifice. When we most want to act, that is when we should wait. The irony is that because by making these contradictory moves, we find what we are looking for. So next one is how you present yourself to the world. So it's like the mask that you wear, and how you would like people to see you. That's quite a good one.
Yeah.
I think Mum got this one.
Is it like
What do you think of when you see that?
equal and helping people?
Yeah. Sort of like collaborating with people.
I want to collab more.
But then putting this, making a connection.
2 years down the road, probably have done some collaboration stuff, but not as much as I probably hoped.
Like to help people, and like if you don't see harmony somewhere, you're going to go towards it and be like,
it's quite true, isn't it?
To understand
pixie dust. Ariel.
I can help. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Wrong bag. That's sugar.
To understand. That's cocaine.
Oh jeez. Don't carry that around with me.
Understand the Two of Cups. All you have to do is look at its image. A man and woman are gazing at each other, ready to share their cups, and cups is an emotional suit.
Yeah.
Here is the very picture of romantic and sexual attraction. The energy between these two is almost palpable. It shows beauty and power that is created to come together.
It would be like in a relationship kind of thing as well. Or is it more just
Probably
in general?
both. Probably relationship and friendship. Like if you were quite an not shy, but you like to be on your own, then this card wouldn't really make sense for you.
Oh, okay.
But if you like coming together people and like
I
merging,
always say that to you, don't I?
yeah. This is bonding. This card can stand for a union of two entities, people, groups, ideas, or talents. The Two of Cups tells you to look for connections in your life, especially at this point. Now is not the time to separate or stay apart. It's time to join with another and work as a partnership.
Oh,
If you're in conflict, look for
well,
truth.
I didn't really do that, did I?
If you are struggling with two choices or tendencies within yourself, seek to reconcile them. So yeah, it can also sometimes stand for a sound note of warning.
No.
This is funny. If you have ever stood next to two people in love, you know what I'm talking about. They create between themselves a world of their own that can feel exclusionary to outsiders. Choose companies, freeze a crowd. Make sure the tendency to pair off is not creating disharmony in your situation. Yeah, this one's your house card, so it's your environment, friends, family, people around you.
Oh, well.
Another one. Oh, they do as well.
What's
You've
that
got
mean?
a lot of
I mean,
wands, haven't you? Wands and emotions.
I'm an emotional person.
Used as well. I mean, listen, I guess it means I'm learning. Because literally, I've never.
Two of Wands.
But you said about. Oh, there's a
Personal
green flower on
powers.
my finger. Oh, nice. Personal power, boldness, originality, commanding attention. So remember, this is like your environment.
We're not going over the cards. It's windy.
Taking a risk, gambling events will go your way, daring to do what you want, confronting the situation head on, taking initiative, speaking your mind, facing fear directly, taking the bull by its horns, having a different approach. Personal power, command. The Two of Wands glorifies individual courage and greatness. The Two of Wands stands for that power brought down to earth and made personal. Personal power is a force that fills you up and lends you the courage to be great. A powerful person is like a magnet that attracts all those within a certain area. So that makes sense in your environment, like, because this is supposed to be your sort of energy and what's around you. But because it's a good thing, I wouldn't say it's much of a problem with it. Like, if you had a really negative top card, then it would be affecting you as a person. The power always comes from the divine. It passes for us and then flows out into the world. When we understand the relationship, we are blessed because this flow brings with it a tremendous feeling of expansion and fulfillment. We feel as if we can accomplish anything. Problems develop when we forget that we are not the source of power, only its conduit. We must be careful not to let the intoxicating feelings that come with power overwhelm our good sense and blind us to our true desires and intentions. It can indicate that power is a major issue in the situation. You or someone else has it or wants it. When you see this card, look carefully at your goals and activities to make sure you are using power wisely. Don't support power for its own sake.
Okay, this
is my favourite one. This is your advice card. This is the only position that purely gives you a message. More wands, page. And it's
Did I take this advice, people?
With my hat. I've just got a hat on.
Yeah, look how powerful he is. These are all so similar: creative, enthusiastic, confident, and courageous.
Oh yes.
Being original, finding a new area, using your art.
Oh, that's very weird, isn't it?
Yeah, going in a new direction, saying yes, I can.
Oh wow.
Move beyond doubts, focus on success. Know that where there's a will, there's a way.
Always a will, there's a way.
Well, I did kind of do that with my YouTube stuff, I guess. I carried on doing stuff.
The Page of Wands is a messenger bringing you the opportunities for passion. He delivers real chances to experience creativity, courage, charm, and inspiration, the wonders of the wand suit. In readings, this page suggests that an opening may appear that excites you, feeds your talents, or dares you to be great. When you see such a chance, act on it. It can also stand for a child or young at heart adult whose interactions with you involve high energy, risky behaviour, shared enthusiasm. Sometimes the Page of Wands implies that your entire situation is suffused with the spirit of excitement and adventure.
Oh.
I kind of want to put this in like an actual advice position sort of thing, because sometimes it's really good what you can find advice. This card advises actively seeking out learning experiences, not just school, but also jobs that build skills or life experiences that may bring valuable lessons. Be open to any and all learning experiences. In a question about career, this card could advise seeking higher education or an internship. If you're asking about taking on a new job, the Page of Wands advises, yes, this will be a feather in your cap.
Oh.
In some questions, this card can also advise...
I'm going like a peacock. Got so many feathers.
This may be speaking out. If you see something that bothers you, say something. Basically just says go for it. Like it's quite...
Go for something and it won't happen.
But Ella, you said it all wrong.
It's not you, it's the cards, let's say. It's not actually personally you.
So he's a creative explorer, always dreaming up new ways of
Sounds like me.
investigating the world he or she inhabits.
Okay.
So yeah, it's quite a good one, really.
Cool. What's the last and final
So
one?
this
One you probably
is
scared of.
Oh, really? Why?
the future one.
Yeah, this is your far.
Oh.
Oh god, is it not good? Well, this is. Oh no, that's not necessarily bad. I mean, some of them
look
look
at how
so
scary that
dramatic.
is. Something I'm going to die.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Die one
in a year.
day.
But remember the far future is like the one you can change the most because you've got like a year.
That's
You
very
can,
nice.
if you don't like this, you can change it, and it gives you advice as well.
To me.
By the way, apparently this card comes up a lot when people are about to have a new job, get a new job. That's weird. I didn't know that.
I'll get a new job.
I know, but like it's weird that's come up. All I'm saying is that
one's scary. That's the only scary one.
Let's see what she said.
I really like the look of that.
dun dun dun.
It's got no blood coming out of him. It's just like, is that blood?
I can't remember this, to be honest.
Okay, sorry.
I can't remember this.
By your advice still, but okay, you're obviously getting a bit scared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All
We can go back
swords move. Bottoming out. Having nowhere to go but up. Knowing it's darkest before the dawn.
Okay, yeah.
Feeling that things can't get worse.
No.
Preparing for an upturn.
So it's not negative then, really.
Well, it's more about how you feel.
Yeah.
Like this, wondering why me, feeling self-pity, being like it's all what you're like, feeling powerless. It's not necessarily saying you are. But we'll have a look. Is there any opposing cards? Sometimes it can change it. You've got a Chariot. That can emphasize on being self-assured and power and victory.
Okay. But that
and the Hanged Man also.
Sense for me moving around and doing lots of things. I'm very like, this is not like I have to kind of just go with the flow a little bit. Because
you've got the Hanged Man in your near future and then this is your far. They're not actually too different from each other because they're both like sacrificing themselves and sort of being vulnerable, I suppose, in a way, which you are at the moment because you're just like kind of out there and you in the open sort of thing,
changing.
Yeah. Do you have any? No, you don't have any swords. This is the only sword you've got. So the Ten of Swords appears to be a card of miserable misfortune, but surprisingly, it often represents troubles that are more melodramatic than real. See. Okay. The man on this card has quite a few swords in his back. Well, just a few. Wouldn't one be enough? Isn't 10 a little excessive? Perhaps this gentleman's suffering through, though sincere, is exaggerated as well. Okay. One meaning of the Ten of Swords is hitting rock bottom. When one disaster follows another, we feel devastated at first, but eventually we throw our hands up and laugh. It's so bad that it's funny. In films, the hero says, what else could possibly go wrong? And we know that's a signal for the bucket of water to fall on his head. When we see the Ten of Swords, know that the last bucket has fallen and you can expect a turn for the better. This card can also show when you're in victim mentality.
Okay.
You're certain that the whole world is picking on you just to make your life difficult. I picture the man lifting his head and saying, "You think you've got it bad? I cut on the finger. I've got 10 swords in my back." Then he drops his head back down with a sigh. Woo, woo. The man would say with a weak wave in his hand, "No, you go on, have fun. Don't think about me. I'll just stay here with swords in my back, but I want you to enjoy yourself."
Sounds so bad.
I don't mean to make light of misfortunes, because of course there are many real tragedies in the world. Sometimes the 10 of swords indicates a sad event, but you know when this is the case. There is not even a hint of laughter in your heart. Most of the time, 10 of swords has a lighter side. It is as if your inner guide is gently kidding you about how you are handling your own personal tale of woe. When you see this 10 of swords, check your attitude and know you've reached the point where things will definitely begin to look up. Indicates that you're heading toward a bottom of some sort. Whether or not your future will be a slow descent from your present position, or a rapidly seen, there are many ways the 10 of swords can add to the trauma in the light of a new day.
Okay.
So I would say from going for like this, but everything here, you're quite like confident and you're like, yeah, self-assured, yeah. But I'm only presuming this might not even be real, but you kind of, something happens, because that sounds dramatic, but you might lose a little bit of
confidence.
Yeah, and you sort of think, oh, can't believe this is happening. Dramatic. Like, remember what he was saying about he's being, I mean, he would be dramatic because he's got swords in his back, but it's about
what is kind of a bit true, I guess.
There's a lot of like emotions involved in what you're doing now, so that can go down as quick as it can go up.
Yeah.
So what I would take, what cards to you come out the most? Like, I know obviously you're going to look at this one and say, oh, that one's scary, but these ones. Because it's good that you should feel stuff as well. Like, you should be like, I feel like this one's trying to tell me something, or
yeah.
So you like this one?
Yeah.
See, these one, your past, present, and how you present yourself are all blue. So like, they're quite fine, but then things change when you go outside of that. Like, these are white, which usually means I feel like you are, because it sort of goes from blue to white to black. I reckon.
Yeah.
You're gonna. Well, that's you now. These are still present cards.
Okay.
But remember, it's your conscious.
Oh yeah. Conscious and subconscious.
You're gonna jump the gun and be like, "Oh my god, this is dramatic. I can't believe this is happening. I hate everything," sort of thing. So it would be interesting to see to see if things change. Like, if we do this again later on, to see what. But remember, this is your advice one, and this is literally the opposite. Actually, thinking about that, it just comes to my head. If this is your advice, saying go for it, and it's like he's there saying everything you want, just jump. It's like this represents new jobs as well, and it's creative. But then this one's a bit. It's completely opposite. He's like on the floor and he's got swords in his back. So I reckon it means to have more trust and faith that things will go okay, and also it's better to have, I would say, this one in your advice than, like, you probably would rather this in your future, wouldn't you? But if this was in your advice, it would be like telling you that you're that it would recognise the fact that you're acting like this. But if you see this in your future, you're able, because this is you and how you feel about yourself, you're able to change that. Whereas if it was an advice and this was in your future, it would be saying, like, if you don't change the way you see yourself, you're gonna affect what happens in the future.
I feel that's good.
So if you manage your thoughts and feelings about the past, it will help brighten your future. Just be more positive. it's showing you that your current path is leading you towards some serious hardships. I mean, that makes sense. It's not going to be airy-fairy. Probably at this point it will be the most difficult, and then afterwards it might be better. So even though there may be some drama ahead, it will pass. You'll want to rely on the other cards in the spread to help prepare you for this future event. So yeah, that's basically what I said. Think of the Page of Wands and just
carry on.
Yeah. So next time I hear you start getting emotional, I'm going to be like, okay, you're doing this, you're being dramatic, okay, stop.
So that was really interesting to look back on that video and see if the tarot card that Nincompoop did relate in any way or not. I don't know if you guys follow me on the stuff I do and what you kind of think, if you think it did or didn't. Let me know in the comment box, and remember to give us a huge thumbs up if you like this kind of video, and I can do more videos on this subject. And remember to subscribe to my channel and join my Razztazz family, and click the little bell to be notified of all my Big Jazz Hand videos I do. And I thought it was quite interesting, the cards that did come up, they probably did relate to certain bits, and it'd be funny to know that future card, how far in the future that was meant to be, because it might even relate to something now. Would be interesting to know. Maybe Ellie could let me know in the comment box as well. And see you guys later, and stay fabulous.
Oh God, so this stresses me out, because I'm going to get the end of this where you're like